Afternoon, ladies and gents, hope you're all well. This is the Old Bailey with the Scales of Justice up there. Very historic place. And this is the Church of St Sepulchre without Newgate. And you're going to be joining me on one of our little London tours. This here is the first Metropolitan Public Drinking Fountain to ever be in London, so let's get a picture of that. Replace the cup. I don't think there is a cup anymore. Yeah, no cup, but here we are. Well, the thing underneath is probably to operate it, and that's the Viaduct Tavern there. We're going to be walking down the side of the church here up to, or past St Bartholomew's Hospital, the Church of St Bartholomew's the Great, the Rising Sun Pub, Smithfield Meat Market, and then from there down towards Farringdon train station, and there'll be a little historical gem on the way there. So, hope you're all going to enjoy the tour. Very much enjoyed the Church of St Sepulchre. Interesting, beautiful church. What's their love name in English literature? Who was a blue coat boy here? Elia. Charles Lamb. Perhaps the most loved name in English literature, who was a blue coat boy here for 7 years. Born 1775, died 1834. So, Charles Lamb, the famous author, figure in English literature. This is, I've never shown this bit before because I've never been down this way, but this is, well, I have been down this way, I've never filmed down this way, let me correct myself. This is one of the side entrances to St Bartholomew's Hospital. Get a picture of that without the car in it, preferably. Off we go. Oh, it's cold, my hands are freezing. Get over this road before I get killed. Oh, the outpatients department this is, look. Nowadays it would just be a plain plastic sign like that, with no character to it, but in the old days they made a bit more effort, didn't they? It'll only be a couple of main locations I'm visiting today, mostly because I've got a lot on my phone already, and secondly it is so cold. It has plummeted the temperature, so yeah, I'm cold. I haven't got gloves on, and you can't in London just walk along with phone holding your one hand holding the phone and whatnot, and one in the pocket, because you will get it nicked very quickly. There's the meat market over there. Oh, I'm just going to point you up a minute while we go past these people. Pointing you up. I will point you back down in a sec, but it's at a bus stop, there's people there, so I don't like filming people without their consent. It's not fair, is it? So there we go. Nuffield Health, if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, you can get Nuffield. That's the basically fast track private system of the health service nowadays. We didn't have that years ago, but well, it is what it is, I suppose. One of the classic red telephone boxes, what everyone loves. That's somewhere we've just come from. Oh, goodness gracious me, is it cold? Goodness gracious me. We are going to have a little warm quickly, pay our respects in the chapel of St Bartholomew the Less. Well, I am anyway. I've filmed this one several times, so you guys and girls have seen this already. So I'm going to pause you now, and you will rejoin me on the walk in a minute. So see you all soon. There we are. I had a warm, and in the time between the last bit of the video and this bit of the video, I've had a warm and been into the St Bartholomew's Hospital Museum and covered that in 10-minute increments on my TikTok and Instagram, but it will also go on Facebook and YouTube as well, because I've got a lot more members on both since I did that last time, which was a while ago now, and I've got better technology with me this time. The phone, the reason I pointed up there is that behind all this ugly scaffolding is the statue of King Henry VIII. This is known as the King Henry VIII Gate. Once Henry VIII destroyed the priory of St Bartholomew's, the hospital had to be refounded. So that's what he did. And that's why it's called the Henry VIII Gate, but it's all covered up with scaffolding and stuff. It's not the prettiest sight in the world. Over there is Smithfield Meat Market. Oh, it's very cold. Really, really cold today. I'll just point you this way because there's a couple of people sitting down on the bench. But in that park there, Rotunda Gardens, underneath there is an old railway terminal. That was how the meat was brought into Smithfield originally, but it's an underground car park now. Coming up to something very historical here, the William Wallace Memorial, which I have shown before on one of my previous walks. One of the William Wallace Memorials anyway. The St Bartholomew's Gatehouse here is one of my favourite buildings. The old wives' tale is that Queen Mary, Bloody Mary, used to sit in the room up there and eat meat pies and watch the heretics be burned, but that's probably exactly as it is described, an old wives' tale. So yeah, you can either go through there or you can go down that way, Little Britain, or you can go over this way, right through the middle of the meat market. We're gonna have a walk past the ancient church, or in this walk we're gonna have a walk past the ancient church of St Bartholomew's the Great, founded by a prior here, whose ghost is rumoured to have been seen here many times. It was him who founded the hospital, the church, this church, and the little church of St Bartholomew the Less. So I've never covered this one for my TikTok and Instagram before, so that's what I'm going to do now. And then you pick me back up on our walk once that's done. Over there is the oldest surviving house in the city of London that only survived the fire because it had the high walls of the priory around it at the time, which obviously no longer exist, but that's what saved it. So, right, you'll join me back again at this one. There we are, that's the Church of St Bartholomew the Great covered for TikTok, Instagram mostly, but I will put it on Facebook and that as well for anyone that hasn't seen it. Some people don't like trawling back through months of stuff, and I do put a lot of content on, I do realise that, so yeah. So we shall carry back on with our walk. Oh Jesus. The vent outlet for that restaurant bar thing there, it blows out freezing cold air, which is the very, very last thing that anyone would want at this time of the year. John Gillingwaite, son of Abraham and Sarah Gillingwater, sorry, it's Gillingwater. Gillingwat, yeah, Gillingwater. Of this parish. Died December the 21st. Oh, that's better, that's convenient. December the 21st, 1824. Aged 6 months and 21 days. Also Mary Gillingwater, grandmother of the above, who died July the 16th, 1828, aged 60 years. Also Mr. Isaac Gillingwater. and it's worn away at the bottom there, but obviously I won't focus too much on that. But yeah, we're at the Church of St Bartholomew the Great. We are now going to be walking past London's oldest surviving timber frame house. As I said, it only survived because it was surrounded in those days by the high walls of the Priory in 1666. This area, since that time, has changed unrecognisably. And when I say unrecognisably, I really do mean that. But there's another little interesting thing over here, which I will show you. Apart from the house, which is interesting on its own. I'm not taking pictures on this tour because the filming is quiet enough, and I've got a lot of pictures on my phone. But just here, number 43, Clough Court, Sir John Betjeman, 1906 to 1984, Poet Laureate, lived here. So that's interesting, isn't it? Right. Yonder church. Here we have the Rising Sun pub, also known locally as or historically as the body-snatcher pub, because some of the body snatchers used to sell their bodies to the medical students of St Bartholomew's Hospital. So I have a little bit of gory London history for you. Looking down at the Church of St Bartholomew's the Great there, and the Rising Sun pub. If you go right round this way, that will take you back round to the house of Sir John Betjeman. London's little courtyards and alleyways are notorious, and here you will see one of the smallest doors you will probably ever see. There we are, look, little and large. Goes down into the cellar, I should imagine. Basement for American friends and cousins, in my case. There we are. Take a picture of that. Oh, my fingers are half frozen, they really are. By the time I get to Farringdon Station, they should be all frozen. It's worth it to keep you guys and girls occupied and happy and off the street from smashing bus stop windows and stuff. There we are. Sorry. Oh, I just wanted to get a picture of that. The house Sir John Betjeman lived in. Yeah, so you literally within half a foot of each other, you've got London's oldest surviving timber framed house and the house where Sir John Betjeman lived. And not so far from that, you've got Rotunda Gardens over here, which will probably be closed now, I should think. It normally always is come evening time. But it's as I said earlier, it's an underground car park under there now. But years ago, when the meat market was first built, it was a railway terminus. Oh. This wind is absolutely brutal. Yeah, it's closed, the park. But yeah, if you go under there, around that way, I did cover it before. It's an underground car park now, but it was a railway terminus for this place, the meat market. You've got to admit, when our forebears built something, however you wish to pronounce that, they built impressively, didn't they? If you go down this road here, it will take you to where the old Museum of London was, which is closed now, and it will be moving to not far from here. cross over. Just point you up a minute. Don't want to point the phone in someone's face. Over we go. Long Lane. And another thing for when I come again, over that way, is Cock Lane. And we shall learn about Cock Lane and Scratching Fanny, the Cock Lane ghost, on another tour. I'm not joking, it is a real thing. It was like, I think it was 17th or 18th century ghost hoax. They basically hoaxed a ghost story in Cock Lane, and it became known as Scratching Fanny, the Cock Lane ghost. Because don't forget, in those days, Fanny didn't mean what it means now. And there's the clock. And if you walk through here, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you will not like it, because you can smell the blood. So you have been warned. And through there is where, when they're open, you can go and buy all your meat wholesale, or in larger quantities, and good meat too. Will cost you, but good stuff does cost nowadays, doesn't it? But like, as I say, just the architecture in these places on its own is amazing. Our beloved telephone boxes, the red ones. Tourists still love these. God, they're in the state. Jesus. Oh my God. Some barbarian has actually had a shit inside a telephone box. I mean, come on, Joe. Oh, now we're going down over this way. Ah, Green Man's on. That was convenient, wasn't it? How kind of it. Went you that way. Look, cross over. If you go over down that way and round, that will take you to the Charter House. But that's not our port of call for today. Our next historical location will be coming up soon. Oh God, it's cold. You know that song, I can't feel the rain? Well, mine is, I can't feel my hands. So yeah, which I literally can't. Subway. Do you know, I've eaten in Subway a couple of times and I've never liked it. Peter's Lane, the Rookery, 1764. There's a nice little bit of history down there. You're going to like this lot. God, my hands are frozen. Where is it? It's a bit further along, I think. It's down this one. Yeah, here we are. This harks back to the old days when it was a butcher's and whatnot. But the Rookery is one of the older surviving little Peter's Lane. And the Rookery is one of the older surviving places in London. That looks really nice in there, the Rookery. I wouldn't mind going in there. That looks really nice, doesn't it? That's lovely. How charming. Look, nice fire and everything. That's really nice. I wonder what it is. Or it's a museum or something. Because that looks like a museum to me. The Rookery. Oh, God knows. Gentleman's club. I bet it's a gentleman's club. It's going to be one of them fancy gentleman's clubs, I reckon, isn't it? Yeah. Very nice. That's lovely. I like that. I shall research on that. Oh, what we got here? Some history. Peace and quiet. The Rookery is an unusual name for the most unusual small hotel. Tucked away in a quiet corner of Smithfield, a short walk from the square mile. Take some snapshots at that. Hoofs and horns. Bones and ashes. Pause to read if you wish, but I am getting photographs as I go along. Saints and sinners. That's really interesting. I bet it costs a pretty penny to stay there as well, doesn't it? Right. On with our walk, which will be over soon, because we're going to Farringdon Station, which is just up there. So that's the Rookery. That's very nice, isn't it? Totally historical. I should have a look at that and see how much it costs to stay there. I wouldn't mind that. We'll be coming up to a nice historical pub in a minute on the corner. I'm just pointing you this way because people are coming along. You know I don't like filming people without their consent. Cowcross Yards, which is another one of those little alleyways that you can walk down and get lost or mugged depending on however fortune may go for you at that particular time. It's been a good day today for exploring. Got quite a bit done. Location I've never done before was the St Sepulchre Church, St Sepulchre without Newgate. That was a good one to do. Then there's this walk, which is obviously that. Then you've got the museum, St Bartholomew's Hospital Museum, the Church of St Bartholomew's the Great. Got quite a lot done. So I'm pleased therewith. We should be coming up to Farringdon Station, which is here, and I know this one well because I used to have to come here regularly. Well, I didn't have to. I chose to come here regularly when I was doing my family history, and the Middleton Street was the family history centre where it used to be. That's all gone now, and there you've got the Castle pub, and then back down the route that we've come from. This is completely new. This side is completely and utterly new since I came here. When I used to come here, it was just this station. But this is the Thames Link and the Elizabeth line, which is all new. This area is very, very unfamiliar to me now, I'm afraid. So yeah, off we go into the station, which has still got some of its original architecture, as well as its original frontage. So, hope you all enjoyed the little journey. Take care all. Oh, I'll pause you a minute so you can see some of the originality of the train station. This was one of the first sort of underground lines, or it was the first underground line in London, and this station. So, it's a fair bit of history with this one. Anyway, guys and girls, as I say, I hope you all enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a like and share. Thank God I'm not on this side. Take care all. See you all soon.